Today, I got an email from a man who claims to be a user on the WikiLeaks. He learned and heard about my conquest to find Happy Appy, so he tried to find any documents related to it. He did find one, which told the employees to never air on certain TV shows or movies. After browsing through with the big description of Crybaby Lane and other shows, I found this text. One show originally named Happy Appy was cancelled due to blood and gore. The original show was depicted as an apple named Happy Appy that taught kids how to handle certain injuries. On their final and only 8th episode, there was only 2 hours when Noggin removed all traces of the show happening. 2001 reports say that the episode seemed to be depict happenings of certain disasters, even though that one episode was shown in 1999. I'm starting to get suspicious. June 6, 2011. Ah, crap. I've been having nightmares of Happy since my last post 3 months ago. The dreams range from Happy's smile to him brutally murdering a kid. Also about the mysterious figure. I have been seeing him more. Whether he's sitting on the mountain or sitting in the forest, the figure never seems to leave me. Also, I've seen more of him to tell you more about his psychological features. First off, he isn't Shadow because he has some sort of face with a mouth or whatever. The mouth seems to be locked in the same expression. Happy's death stare. I wonder if he's happy. But more about his body. He's slightly taller than me. I'm 6'2", and he seems to be about mid-weight about his height. I've boarded up my house because obviously he wants to kill me. June 11th, 2011. I'm at the local elementary school, the only place nearest to me where he won't find me. I also have a computer. It's been 5 days since my last encounter with him, and my house is gone, burnt to a crisp. The strange thing is, no one seems to notice. It's like it never happened or worse. Like the house never existed. But at least I'm safe here. Wait, I hear rustling. That's not good. Hey, I see Harold Cleaner walking in the bushes. Wait, why is there blood on his face? It might be that figure again. I'm going to see. June 28th, 2011. I bought my new house today. It's about 2 stories tall, and it's fireproof this time. One of my friends, Jim Forrester, actually remembered Happy Appy. He said that there was going to be more episodes. I forgot. Turns out that the most violent episodes were actually at the end. The entire series was supposed to have 25 episodes, plus a TV movie. No one mentioned it. Because Jim had only had the surviving tapes. The series got more violent slowly. He sent me a disc with fragments of Happy Appy episodes. Here's what they are. At first it starts off with the school bell ringing. Happy Appy standing next to a kid. The kid says that he can't understand math, and the teacher says, "Class is dismissed." Then Happy sings a math song. It was distorted, but I could make out these lyrics. 2 minus 1, and then your homework is done. After that, the kid says, "Wow, thanks, Happy Appy." The next fragment was one of the more violent episodes. There were mixed clips, but here's what happens in order. 3 kids were crying so loud, it almost was too painful to see. Happy Appy and 2 other kids were trying to help the other kids. The kids were crying because their families were gone, or they died. The 2 kids comforted the 3 other kids, and 3 other kids left. But Happy had this weird perverted rearing the borders with greediness and expression. He said, "Come with me." The 3 kids followed Happy into a building, then he left it. It then bags of money. The 3 kids were screaming for help again. There were more to be seen. There was even one fragment of somewhat of a violent episode. Happy was putting on a bandage on a kid's arm. In the far corner of his pocket, a needle with green fluids was seen. Happy then put the needle into the kid, knocking him out. When he dug him into his van and a chainsaw was heard, the DVD just stopped. Oh, you want to know more about the figure? It turns out that he was here, so I had to get out of there. Besides, I have given him a nickname, Forenza, which is better than calling him the figure. When I saw him 17 days ago, he seemed to have fingers with claws. And I don't mean like he had retractable claws in his fingers. His fingers were very sharp. I also got a good look at how he ran. He seemed to have been hunchback, and which means to be taller than he would be standing up straight. I'd say about 6'9", although you could speculate that because I don't have a picture of him. July 14th, 2011. Jim Forrester, a man who worked on Happy Appy, just called me, telling me that Blair Mays, the man who voiced Happy Appy, was a star on the Fright House Screamers. No need to research that. It sounds interesting. He had died in his town, and the body had 3 claw marks on his chest, one of them puncturing his heart. I would have guessed that Forensic would have clawed him. However, Blair did say that they were made on being that they would have extremely sharp claws because it managed to put a nice scratch on one of his ribs. July 15th, 2011. Jim Foster just gave me a DVD with 3 new episodes, including one that could be part 2 of the Happy Appy TV movie. Unfortunately, they were corrupted as shit because they needed cleaning. July 17th, 2011. I've got the most of it working, so here's what happens. The first one was of the episode I mentioned that had Happy and the needle. It turned out what he said after Happy Appy chainsawed the kid. Then he drove off, and he went to crash a plane, where the second scene I mentioned happened. You know, the one that has the kids? After that, he was playing with some kids. Then his skin peeled off, like an orange peeler was being used on him, revealing a rotten apple core. As the skin lands on the kid like a blanket, the show then ended. The next one was a full of classroom episode. What I said happened, but with a better voice video. After that, Happy goes into a silent science class where a kid has been playing with a Bunsen burner, but accidentally gets burned. Happy then puts on an ice pack on the kid's burn, and then the kid thanks him. Then Happy notices some kid getting bullied on by an older kid. Happy then was told him not to give up, and the kid runs into the classroom, probably to tell the teacher about what happened. And then it ended. Finally, I saw part 2 of the Happy movie, and it turned out that Happy Appy was driving his van on a road. Then a kid throws a rock onto the road, not a small pebble. No, I'm talking about a big rock. Then Happy's van rolls over on the rock and the van crashes. And what I mean by crash, I mean the actual footage of a car crash. After that, some kids run over the burning wreckage of Happy's van, where Happy Appy was shouting, "Get me out!" When this happens, the happy-go-lucky music that plays normally is replaced by parts of Revolution 9, reversed. One of the kids say, "There, his hat! His hat!" And then it cuts to Happy's bloody stem. It then screamed, which was so loud even to make someone's ear bleed. The mouth had some bloodied teeth on it. Another kid then says, "His body, his body!" Happy's body was badly cut up, and was bad enough that the cuts to make a blood pool around it. His eyeball was dangling out of its socket, while his teeth was shattered. His left arm was cut off, bone visible, blood squirting out of the stump, while both his legs were broken. He tried to crawl out, but his only to non-broken, decapitated arm. Finally, Happy died, while the screaming, weird sci-fi noises. After that scene, it just showed the road, with the smashed up van next to his body. Then after that, it cut to the funeral, where the kids were crying over Happy's dead body. One kid said, "Why, Happy, why?" The final shot before the credits was dead Happy, with blood on his broken teeth. Instead of the theme song playing, dark carnival music played, with pieces of the Reverse Revolution 9, and Neapolivics is They're Coming to Take Me Away, haha, haha. The narrator said, his stomach was 2 in that day. There was 2, and there is none. Here, there. He's getting close to his sister with all he knows. He finally, he sees to work in the underworld. Guess what the narrator's talking over? Happy Appy. The bloodied scalpel in one hand and the blooded echo in the other, and slowly panned over the skin off of the skies that Happy was under, in the magic trick episode, but it just stopped. July 24th, 2011. It had been 7 days since I watched part 2 of the TV movie. I still can't get over the photorealistic body of Happy Appy out of my mind. Well, guess what? Someone claimed to have the first part, so I asked him to mail it to me. It turns out he was right. Here's what happened. It starts off with the same carnival theme, with distorted voices. The intro was spotted with the giant flashes after the original intro would play. It then went straight to Happy dying from an unknown disease. When he talked, his lips were perfectly synced with, "They're coming to take me away." It then shot to one of the 5-year-olds. He was trying to cry because Happy was dying, but he didn't cry tears. He cried blood. No joking. It then played a sad piano after another kid, in a high-pitched voice, said, "They're coming to take me away." It then showed Happy coughing up blood. Then he went into the surgery room. What followed next was an hour of non-stop motion surgery. It was so horrifying, but yet so compelling. How did they make a good surgery scene with these puppets? After that, Happy was seen on a wheelchair, and the children said, "Are you better?" Happy said, "Yes, my nice friends," and gave him a big hug. After that, it faded to the title that said 3 months later, and started to fade into the second part of the TV movie, but it was cut. July 26, 2011. Today I went to the yard sale, and I saw a VHS called HA Bonus Features. I bought it for the cheap price of 50 cents. After that, I decided to play it. Unfortunately, it was screwed up, because it made some weird alien Y noises. It then made 5 whooshes and a weird noise. I decided to decode it. After 2 hours of decoding, I heard, "Don't trust Happy Appy. He will murder you. He's a killer. Never trust him." Could he have been just saying that to a kid trying to warn us about Happy Appy? July 28th, 2011. I just heard about the fire that ravaged through the studio that made Happy Appy. After taking a plane ride that took 10 hours, I decided to go in there, in case I find anything that could help me investigate the mystery of Happy Appy. It was completely abandoned, and no one was trying to demolish it or anything. So I snuck in, cause I thought that it could help in search of Happy Appy. When I went inside, I saw the 2 rooms that were burned to death or crushed by debris. The sound set and the storage room. The storage room had a rusty lock onto it, but I ignored it for the sound set. It was a massive, about 100 feet long at least. There were some ruins on the blue screen on stage, but it was really scary. That was some of the cloth that had bloodstains on it. Most of the lights were on, which was strange, considering that the biggest stain got damaged by the fire, except for the back. I wondered what was back there. Then, I heard movement and saw Forensic again, with his red eyes. I got the hell out of there and locked the doors. After that, I decided to go and look at the storage room. The lock, although made of steel, was rusted, like I said. It was also brittle, so I broke it off by using a hammer that I found on the desk. After opening it, I noticed it was some sort of vault. It had some tape sets that had labels on them, so I took them. However, most of the stuff was just burnt, except for a safe. I decided to take the safe. Unfortunately, it made the building unstable, so I ran out of there in time. just before the entire thing collapsed, killing whatever moved back there. I hope that was Forensnik. August 1st, 2011. Today, I broke off the lock of the safe. I just forgot about it, even though it was in my room. After opening the safe, I noticed what I got instantly: Happy's puppet in deaf smile mode. I got creeped out, but kept them anyway. Then I looked at the tapes. They were all Happy Appy in higher quality. August 4th, 2011. Today I saw Forensnik, so I finally took a picture. He seemed to be more agitated, because of his normal smile was a frown. I wondered why, until I smashed and burned the Happy puppet in the tapes, because I think they're powering Forensnik. I could be wrong, though, which is probably true. August 15th, 2011. Sorry that I haven't been updating this blog lately. I haven't really had much to say recently. But now that I'm getting really scared. I thought destroyed that tapes and the puppet a while ago, but when I went into the kitchen into my house, I saw them lying on the counter, in what looks to be in mint condition. Recently, I have been having tons of nightmares about Happy or Forensnik. I don't even know why, but it seems like he's the only thing which I can really think about anymore. It's like he's taking over my mind and rewriting my brain. I also found a message in a letter. You can't run. Oh, and I've heard more about the Fright House Screamers, but it's not related to Happy. So